Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone. For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing. Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com. And by Hyundai. Experience the 2011 Hyundai Sonata today at HyundaiSonata.com.
This is Autoline Daily for September 21st, 2011, and now the news. Well, we've got more details on the UAW contract with General Motors. Different media outlets are reporting different aspects of that contract. The Detroit News says that hourly workers could earn $12,500 in bonuses over the life of the 4-year contract. Wards notes that GM is also going to move $2.5 billion worth of work from Mexico to the U.S., and that involves engines, transmissions, and castings. GM will also reopen a couple of plants, though one is closing, but all told, it will hire 6,400 more UAW workers. Bloomberg adds that GM is also going to put 10% of its profit-sharing money into a healthcare trust, and that should generate about $40 million a year, and that's going to help the UAW with its VIVA funds. That is a big coup for the union, but if GM can get more of its existing high-cost workers to retire, it could hold the line on labor costs or even reduce them. But it has to pay $75,000 to skilled workers to entice them to retire. Daihatsu, Japan's largest maker of K-cars, just introduced a gasoline-powered model that gets 71 miles per gallon. Called the Mira ES, Daihatsu is targeting buyers looking for less expensive models that get better fuel economy because of the earthquake earlier in the year. The company expects to sell 7,000 a month after the first year. And remember that 71 miles per gallon is on the Japanese driving cycle. If the U.S. EPA were to test it, that number would be lower, but even so, it is a pretty impressive number. Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives are looking to cut funding from a program that's meant to help automakers build more fuel-efficient vehicles. The House will debate whether or not to cut $1.5 billion of the $4 billion left in the program, and they're doing that to fund disaster relief. That means Chrysler and battery supplier A123 Systems, which just signed an agreement with GM, may not get some or all of the money that they requested. Altogether, 11 loans may not get awarded if the program is reduced. And in yet another sign of just how much things are changing, Honda just signed an agreement with John Deere to sell its power products at John Deere stores in the U.S. Honda's walk-behind lawnmowers, generators, tillers, water pumps, and snowblowers will be available at John Deere locations starting next year. Hey, coming up next, it's time for You Said It.
Reducing exhaust emissions, aerified diesel particulate filters, high filtration, low back pressure, small package size, excellent durability. DowAerify.com.
And now it's time for some of your feedback. MJB wants to know, how does Saab keep doing it? How do they keep finding ways to reemerge from those near-death experiences? Well, MJB, don't forget that Saab is not building any cars right now. In fact, it hasn't built any cars since May. So they're not reemerging. These are just the last convulsive death throes of a car company that's only technically alive, on paper. Kit Gerhardt saw our report on GM jointly developing a new electric car architecture with its joint venture partner in China, SAIC, but he's not worried. What's the big deal, he says. Everyone who comments on this board says EVs are a joke. If that's true, GM isn't giving away anything of value. Kit, you've got a good point, but I think everyone's upset on the way that China is going about doing this. Essentially, they're saying, give us your best technology or we will not let you into our market. You know, I think reciprocity is called for here. But instead of demanding their technology, we should simply tax all Chinese imports to make up for the currency manipulation that they're engaged in. A lot of you responded to the ad that Ford's running, in which a customer is shown saying he likes Ford because it did not take any government bailout money. RS doesn't see why anyone's upset with that. What's the big deal with the Ford ads? That same sentiment exists all over North America, including Michigan. I like the fact that Ford did not have to take our money. But Right Knight 70 doesn't agree. That's a low blow by Ford, he says. If GM and Chrysler had died, they would have also, due to the supplier's eventual death. And Flat Black Strat points out that Ford took government loans as well. Well, actually, they applied for them. They may not get that money, as we reported earlier. And several of you appreciated our acknowledgement of International Talk Like a Pirate Day. The Puma says, "Rawr, matey, great episode." And Tango R34 even added a joke. Why do pirates talk like pirates? Because they are. Keep those letters and comments coming, folks. We love to read them. And then be sure to join me and the auto extremist Peter DeLorenzo tomorrow night as we get into the nitty-gritty details on the Cadillac CL concept car and how it telegraphs where Cadillac's foreign language is headed in the next couple of years. Our guest is Clay Dean, the head of advanced design at GM. Get your questions and comments in for what is sure to be a great discussion. And that wraps up today's show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.